beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and give me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell notification. And I'm just going to keep on giving you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews, 40-ish and $100 range. Most of these way less than that. Good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. Like the one I'm talking about today, I finally found it at the rack store. I've been kind of keeping my eye out for this thing. Haven't gone out of my way to get it, but when I saw it pop up for $12.95, I was like, there it is. I want to grab that. I'm talking about Michael Jordan's 1997 release of Legend. I thought this was going to be more yellow because all the pictures I see, it's like yellow, kind of like that candle, but it's like practically clear with it's like opaque. It's like a touch of yellow in that thing. The lid itself has a little bit of texturization, like kind of a rubberish feel, but mostly plastic. It clicks pretty decent into place. The atomizer, if I can find it, is a little bit lackluster, but it's a fine mist. It just doesn't squirt out a whole lot. So this fragrance is going to be one of those warm, spicy, soft. It's a soft, spicy, warm, spicy, amber, coffee kind of a, excuse me, coffee kind of a fragrance. And the coffee note isn't as dominant as I thought it would be. When I first got this thing, I wouldn't say underwhelmed, but I was expecting more because I've seen this thing compared to Halloween Man X, whereas to me, this is almost more like a little bit softer and more powdery like Jean Paul or something like that. Not 100% like Jean Paul, but it's in that category. They were released around the same time. Cuba Gold, the one that actually started that scent profile, was launched like 20 years before that even. But regardless, I digress. Jean Paul and this share some similarities as far as that soft, fluffy, kind of lavender, powdery type of a feel. If you like those kind of fragrances, then you will probably like this. If you like fragrances like CK1 Shock, this has like the same kind of lavender note as that does. The main notes that you're going to smell in this, goodness, are the lavender, the coffee, the amber, and the leather in no particular order. I would say for me it would be the lavender is going to be kind of heavy in this, high up on the scale, I would say, because it's not powdery per se, but it's a soft spicy is what I'm trying to get at. It's not like just warm spicy. It's got that soft, subtle fluffiness to it, if you will. This is a cool weather fragrance. It's an eau de cologne. I believe it's an eau de cologne, and that usually scares me when I'm purchasing fragrances because that usually says that the projection and the longevity are not going to be that good because the oil concentration is far depleted compared to that of an eau de parfum or something. But it's a solid average to, believe it or not, maybe slightly above average performing fragrance, because last time I wore this, I got, I think, about 6 hours out of it. So that's pretty good. The Tommy Bahama ones as well are eau de cologne. They're on the slightly lower side of average, but that's pretty good for an eau de cologne. Usually they're pretty trash and only last like 2 hours, whereas those ones, this one, they do a good job, especially for being such a light smelling fragrance. It hangs on for a bit. I don't know what's going on there, but it's decent. It's a decent fragrance. Cool weather, appropriate. Definitely not going to be good for the high heat. More mature than it is youthful because it's an older school fragrance. I wouldn't say 25 and below. I wouldn't go much lower than 25-ish. That's kind of even pushing it. It's not offensive smelling. It's definitely office friendly. I would say I would give this a rating of I'll give it a 6 out of 10 because scent profile alone, maybe marginally better than average. Which is good. That's solid. If it's a 6, that's solid, especially because the performance isn't really that much above average for me to notch up the rating scale. So a 6 out of 10 is solid, especially for a fragrance that's $12.95. I found it at Marshall's, I think it was, or was it TJ Maxx? I forget. It was one of those rack stores like that. It wasn't Burlington. Didi's. Yeah, that's I usually don't shop at Didi's so much, so that's why it didn't come straight to my mind. I was out of town, and yeah, they had a bunch of other things there. They're only like $4. They say eau de toilette, and they're clearly knocking off other stuff. I was scared to buy them even at that low price point, but we're talking about this one here. And 6 out of 10, cool weather fragrance, pretty nice. Like I said, it's a fluffy, powdery, warm, soft, spicy, semi-sweet, a little bit of that coffee note going on in there, amber kind of a fragrance. It's actually decent, reminiscent of that of Jean Paul Gaultier. It does bear some resemblance to Halloween Man X, but not a whole lot in my opinion. But overall, it actually is nice. So that's my final thoughts on Michael Jordan's Legend. With that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always. And until next time.